Hello everyone, Ramon here, welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to benchmark Watchdogs, the first Watchdogs to be exact, on a single GTX 1070 paired with an old Core i7-860. As always, this video is recorded on an external recorder at 60 frames per second, so what you will see in this video will be pure performance. I say that in all my videos, but it is especially important for this one, which is very CPU limited. Speaking of the CPU, it is running at 4 GHz, overclocked of course. There we are. The system has 12 GB of memory, and the graphics card is a single GTX 1070 made by KFA2. It is the EX model, running on the latest Foursquare, and it is also overclocked in order to reach 2 GHz of core clock. Now for this benchmark, I'm going to use fraps to measure the performance of the system on this game. We will see the basic result in this file, and I have also loaded my previous run on the 2500K with the GTX 1070, so we can have an immediate comparison and some analysis with flat, of course, at the end of the video. So let me launch the game. A quick look at the options first. 1080p resolution, of course, no vertical sync since this is a benchmark. Textures at ultra. The anti-aliasing could be a little higher, but I have used temporal sub-pixel morphological anti-aliasing on all my Watchdogs videos, and I will stick to that. I kind of want this benchmark to be a little CPU limited, so I can have a comparison with various systems. And for the graphics quality, the overall quality is at ultra with whatever this brings in the settings. And let's go to my benchmarking location.
Grown man making crank calls.
I'm not starting the benchmark just yet. In half a minute I need this scene to go out of the way due to the very high frame rate. Very good. Now I'm starting the benchmark.
Again. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I overreacted. You just make me so crazy sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Come on back, okay? I promise I won't freak out on you. Aiden? You're going after that creep, aren't you?
Well,
You're doing it right now. I can't believe you.
it's not like that.
Stop being a hero, Aiden. Let it go.
Let what? Yeah, the call's breaking up. I can't hear you.
No, you can hear me perfectly. You need to stop right now.
Yeah, hello? You still there? Can't hear you. Okay, gotta go.
Oh!
What the fuck is he doing?
Hey! Hey, stop!
Yeah, I can't believe you're paying me that much just to make a crank call. Nikki Pierce, right? I'll mention the locks like you said. And her kid. This feels wrong. That's the point.
Someone paying this asshole to harass Nikki. Who would pay for something like that?
Did you get anywhere with DedSec? Any of those CTOS hacks?
Yeah, I'm still trying. They're checking you out. Give me time.
Okay, well, I need your help then. Can you trace a phone call?
How can I refuse my best client? Wait, what am I looking at here?
It's from a guy who threatened my family. I want to know who hired him.
Well, the call came from somewhere in the Loop District. But that's as far as I can see.
Okay, if I can hack CTOS inside the loop.
Then I should be able to pinpoint the source of that call.
Let's do that. Loom's building a new CTOS center in the loop. It's perfect.
DedSec tried to attack that center last month. We failed, and they just added more armed guards. So it won't be easy. Be careful.
You sound like my sister. Relax. Make sure I'm armed and dangerous. Loom hires private contractors to guard their CTOS centers. These guys will be geared up and wired for action. And I'll be ready.
Okay, this is the end of the benchmark. Let's take a quick look at the score. 77 frames per second for the i7-860 compared to 70 frames per second for the Core i5-2500K. Very good performance from both systems, as good as it can be, that is, because we know that this game is severely CPU limited, and we can see that here the frame rate is playable, no serious issues. We do have some drops below 60 frames per second at some points. What is a little worrisome is that the frame times seem to be quite spiky. We do have a lot of jumps in the frame times. Of course, this must be due to the CPU, because it is clear that the GPU usage is far from being maxed out. It was the same for the Core i5-2500K, maybe a little less. However, the Core i7-860 did not do too bad. We do have a lot of activity on some cores compared to a little less on others, but the interesting stuff here is that the overall CPU usage, which you can see here where the mouse is above 50% for the most part, which clearly indicates we have some real activity on the logical cores, on the hyper-threaded cores, so we can actually have some real help from hyper-threading in this game, and that's why it is not much slower compared to the Sandy Bridge processor. The CPU temps are fine, no real problem. GPU temps the same. RAM usage at 5.6 gigabytes. The core clock is at 2 GHz throughout the run. It was to be expected. The load was quite low for the GTX 1070. 3.4 gigabytes, 3.5 gigabytes of video RAM usage. And let's see the analysis of the frame latency analytics tool. I will be right back after I have loaded all my relevant files. Okay, I have loaded my benchmarking files. It seems that I did a very serious mistake. This is my Core i7-860 run, which we just saw, and this is actually the Core i5 benchmarking run. It was 70 frames per second, and this one is 77. I was mistaken, and for the first time I believe the Core i7-860 is faster than the i5-2500K, which is very interesting. One of the most interesting results I have seen lately doing benchmarks on this system. So of course, excuse me for my first wrong assumption. I am accustomed to the Sandy Bridge being faster than the Linfield, and surprisingly this game is not one of them. We can see that the i7-860 is indeed quite faster, 10% faster easily than the i5-2500K. Very interesting development. So let's go to the 860 run and let's see the visualization of the frame times. They do not seem too bad. We do have some spikes here and there. Of course, don't forget that this is a long run at about 8 minutes or so, so a lot of frame rate data and frame times data is compacted in these graphs, so we do not have the granularity we would have from a 60-second benchmark, but these are the benchmarks I like to do. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out for the Sandy Bridge also at 80. The frame times seem to be about the same. Okay, we will see that in a minute in the comparison of the two runs. For now, the frame times are very good overall. Only 5.5% is above 16.7 milliseconds. I am very interesting to see again the 2500K. Indeed, we have 15% of these frame times being slower. So indeed the H60 is doing a better job. I'm very surprised by all this. The histogram shows that we do have most of the frame times activity at around 12, 13 and 14 milliseconds. Very good performance. And let's move on to the comparison of the two runs. Let's leave this at blue and let's make this red so we can distinguish them easier. So the runs are quite similar, as you can see, the same length. This specific benchmark does have a very easy path to follow. That's why I devised it like that, so I can have proper measurements. We can see that the red spikes, which are from the 2500K Sandy Bridge processor, are significantly more and bigger than the H60. A very surprising result. I'm very happy with the H60 right now, and this is hopeful for CPUs with more threads. I hope more games would be like that, but as we have seen up to now, unfortunately or fortunately, however you see, the Sandy Bridge processor is overall faster in most games, but not this one, my friends. In this one, the H60 is the faster CPU, the faster system. Very good, very good. Let's see the frame rate too. It is a little faster in the blue for the H60. Not crazy difference, but still a measurable difference throughout the run. We can see the min-max and averages, of course. The minimum is not a very significant measurement. It is a split second measurement. But still, even this split second measurement is better on the H60 in this run. 77 frames per second average compared to 70 for the 2500K. I honestly cannot believe that. I still cannot believe that. We do have a higher maximum, of course, but this is borderline irrelevant. And look at that once more for the stuttering and the frame rate variability, the frame time variability. No, it is frames per second variability, sorry. The GTX 1070 with the i7-860 is actually performing better. Less variability and less stuttering too. I honestly, I am very confused about all this. Very interesting development. I cannot say that enough. 99th percentile is also a little better for the H60 compared to the 2500K, and we can see that in the red line the Sandy Bridge processor is actually consistently slower compared to the H60. Not by much, we have a difference of around 2 milliseconds or something like that. Less than 2 milliseconds, 1.5 throughout the run. But still, this is something you do not see very often. What else? Time spent beyond curve. And finally, the comparable frame rate. Even the comparable is better on the H60. Look at that. 63 compared to 56, and it was 77 compared to 70 for the overall frame rate. very interesting. One of the most interesting benchmarks I have seen. In all honesty, if you are following my channel up until now, this is the first run that the 860 has a commanding lead on the Sandy Bridge CPU. I thought I would never see that. In any case, it is what it is. I hope you find it very interesting, my friends. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on my next video.